260 acres.
And create opportunities for our farmers, for our traders, for our young people who are graduating from all these government institutions to be a part of offers the best option so far after 40.
You know, one thing is the information you're giving is a letter from the president. But I want to tell you people, a president does not write a letter from the blues. He is always advised. They go and tell him there is this part of land, there is this kind of thing, there is this. That is how he writes. Because he doesn't know these people. They go lying him.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I am not blaming them.
I think that we now take consideration of Uganda first and then we serve other interests later. So I beg to submit.
Are depicted as information that was circulating in the media. But Madam Speaker, we need to appreciate the statement that has been given by the Minister. Whereas we have a challenge of land that government has kept giving out, and many times we have not seen the expected development on that land. For example, even in Tororo, we have the Dongsong project that was given quite big chunk of land, and we are still waiting for the 5 industries. But world over, we must appreciate that correctional facilities are not in the center. As we speak now, it is my opinion. It is my opinion. Allow me raise my concern. Everyone will have an opportunity to contribute. What I was saying is this. Luzira is slowly but surely being eaten up by urbanization. Slowly but surely. I wouldn't mind relocation of Luzira. The question would be, the investor who is taking Luzira, are we getting the worth of what we are getting?
Honorable Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I want to buy the idea that the prison be relocated, the land.
Odul, there's a procedure from Odul. But information we are getting is not seeking for permission. We only ask for a clarification. And the clarification we asked for was because of the speculation that was outside there. So we are getting the clarification, and for us we are giving our views that in our own opinion, we think option number 1, option number 2, or option number 3, whichever you feel is okay.
The procedure I'm raising is regards how we are proceeding.
Honorable members, can I have silence?
Regards how we are proceeding and how this House will take a decision on the options that you have raised. If there was a motion, at the end of the motion, a question would be put and the decision would be carried. Now, how will this House process the 3 options? My fear is that we are falling into the trap of the executive. If the minister wanted that, he would have brought a substantive motion with a definite result that this House could take a decision on. So, Madam Speaker, I beg your indulgence that we don't legitimize what I can read already from the mood of the House, a deliberate attempt by the executive to abuse the trust of Ugandans who gave them authority to hold land on behalf. That land belongs to me, belongs to all Ugandans. So by now massaging the options, we might be indirectly falling and giving them a blessing. I therefore beg your indulgence. I therefore beg your indulgence that you guide the House so that whatever we discuss here do not appear to fall into that trap.
On the procedural matter that Honorable Dura has raised, And as I said, this is an executive order. And the way we are getting derailed, there are people who are saying we should have prisons in the middle of the town, in the city, so that you don't have to go very far for you to go to court. There are others who are saying you should take them to Bukedea, to wherever. And we are playing in the hands of these letters, on these letters. We would rather have a motion in this house. We would rather have a motion in this house and say, since the land of Uganda belongs to the people of Uganda, it is in our considered opinion that the land that is being occupied by Uganda prisons remains the property of Uganda prisons. Okay? So you now get the options from what the minister has given. Now that will come in the what? In the motion. And this house will vote to that motion. Okay? Next item. Honorable members. Honorable members. Can we have some silence? This afternoon, once we have the will, we'll do it and have our roads worked on.
Of the law of the Appropriation Act, which tells Honorable have made a ruling to cite the late Honorable.
We don't need 10 billion. We need 5. We take the 2 into what? Into another. When you look at Article 156, Appropriation Bill, the 93 you're talking about is where you're not supposed to increase. We have never increased. We only do reallocation. When you look at Article 156, Article 156 says the head of expenditure contained in the estimates other than expenditure charged on the consolidated fund by this constitution or any other act of parliament shall be included in a bill of parliament to provide for issues from the consolidated fund for the sums for the purpose of specified in the bill. We do not increase. When the formulation is done by executive, for us we do the appropriation. The only within the sectors, the only problem we had originally was when some people were saying that the role of appropriation is not parliament. It still comes back to parliament. We are the ones to appropriate. Even this business of supplementary bills, if you wanted, why don't you spend them there? Why do you bring them here? It is our work. So if you're going to take money and put something, I will say no. That's why I was telling you that we are going to ring fence money for Kibwa, and we'll see what happens. No, it is not a response. We are not arguing here. That is the law. That is the law. Next item. To make sure we prioritize your sector. The number of people who have died due to accidents are so many.
Item 3.2.
I told you today I have only 2 hours. I also have a family.
Item 3.2.
Statement by Minister on the relocation of Luzira group of prisons.
Honorable members, I will allow you to debate on that one. Honorable members, can I have order? Honorable members, as you are aware, petition Luzira prisons. Honorable members, now Goretti, if you're making a noise, you need to, Honorable Minister, may you first sit. If you're making a noise, you'll not get the information. If you're going to reject it, Honorable members, there has been a lot of speculation on the proposal to relocate Luzira prisons. As a house of record, it is imperative that we rise above such speculation and listen for unofficial government position, so that we don't just speculate, we just don't read from papers. We need to get a clear position from government on what is happening, and the minister is going to present this pursuant to Rule 52(1) of the Rules of Procedure, and he will give us information as to whether the speculation is a reality. Honorable Minister.
The anxiety of members, and hopefully this statement will put to rest that anxiety. Right Honorable Speaker and members, at the 14th sitting of the third meeting of the third session of the 11th Parliament, held on Wednesday 28th February 2024, the Honorable Mbwateka Mwagafa, Member of Parliament of Igara West, Museveni District, raised a matter regarding a letter reportedly from the Minister of Internal Affairs that appeared in social media calling for a consultative meeting on the relocation of Luzira prison to create space for an investment opportunity to an external investor. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I want to respond as follows. Right Honorable Speaker and members, Luzira prison group of prisons is the first prison set up in Uganda by the colonial government in the 1920s. By then, the population of Uganda was very low, estimated at 3,071,608 persons. This is according to the Colonial Annual Report number 1112 of December 1920. At that time, Luzira area was peri-urban with almost no developed infrastructure. The prison's infrastructure was the most developed, and the prisons suited to be in that location. The principal consideration at the time was security, as Luzira could only be accessed from one point. Right Honorable Speaker and members, over time, the prison's infrastructure became dilapidated, while the neighborhood continued to improve and modernize. A modern secondary school and hospital, Bishop Cyprian Chanjire, was set up on 20 acres of the prison land. Another 64 acres that was used by the prisons for crop and livestock farming became an industrial park with industries such as Quality Chemicals Limited, Police Sac Limited, U-Fresh, Nightply, and Masterwood, among others. High-rise private property have also sprung up in the immediate neighborhood of the prison. Types of prisons in Luzira. Right Honorable Speaker and members, prisons are classified according to the purpose they serve, either as reception centers, receive and hold suspects awaiting trial, or rehabilitation centers, those that receive convicts from the reception centers for rehabilitation and reform. Prisons are also categorized by the type of offenders they hold and the level of security required: maximum security, high security, medium and low security, and open prisons. Luzira group of prisons was established to absorb all these categories of prisons as indicated in the table that follows. We have Uganda Prisons Upper. It's in the category of maximum security prison, and it's both a reception and rehabilitation center. 2, Uganda Prison Murchison Bay. It's high security prison, both reception and rehabilitation center. 3, Kampala Remand Prison, low security prison used as a reception center. And 4, Luzira Women Prison, a maximum security prison for female prisoners, used both as a reception and rehabilitation center.
General, I hope you're not going away. Okay, thank you.
Other facilities at Luzira, we have a Prisons Academy and Training School, Murchison Bay Farm, Murchison Bay Hospital, Regional Headquarters, Murchison Bay Primary School, staff housing, staff hospital and clinic, 2 churches and 1 mosque, parade grounds, and a football pitch. Current prisoners and staff population at Luzira prisons, prisoners population, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, as at 25th March, this report has been there since that time. Luzira prisons had a total of 8,790 prisoners, including 5,167 remands, 3,457 convicts, 107 condemned prisoners, and 59 civil debtors, as indicated in the table below. Upper had 105 condemned, 1,368 convicts, 1,746 remands, and the total 3,219. Murchison Bay had 1,398 convicts, 1,617 remands, 7 debtors, 3,022 total. Kampala R had 318 convicts, 1,490 remands, 40 debtors, 1,848 total. And Luzira Women had 2 condemns, 347 convicts, 314 remands, 12 debtors, total 701. The totals are down in the last column. Staff population as at 2024 was 2,653 in Luzira barracks. The current state of the infrastructure at Luzira: congestion. Luzira group of prisons was built in the 20s with a total prisoners holding capacity of 1,923 prisoners. Today, Luzira is holding 8,790 prisoners, thereby having an excess of 6,867 prisoners above its capacity, up to 4 times beyond the designed capacity. The details are shown in the table that follows. The disparity between the holding capacity that is there now, 3,219, excess is 2,463. The number of times, 646, population there, 3,022, excess 2,376, a number of times above capacity 4.7. Kampala remand 289, holding capacity, population 1,848, excess 1,559. Capacity above holding capacity is 6.4. Luzira Women 232, holding capacity, population now 701, excess 469. The exceeding capacity is 3.4. The totals are down. The safety and security of prisons, besides limited capacity, the design of the prisons at Luzira did not at the time envisage the level of security required to keep the categories of inmates that we hold now in Luzira. The buildings have not been renovated in recent times, and the state of dilapidation is extremely high. The buildings have outlived their lifetime. Reasons for the proposed relocation: Honorable Speaker and members, the land of is approximately 260 acres, strategically located in Luzira, Nakawa Division, Kampala's capital city authority, and a prime urban area along the shore of Lake Victoria with excellent scenery. It sits next to the railroad line connecting Kampala to Lake Victoria, which is Kampala's only inland harbor at Port Bell. The principal consideration at the time was security, as Luzira could only be accessed from one point. However, currently, with the mentioned developments and constraints of space and implied high security risks, this can no longer justify its continued existence in the present location. Prisoners can be kept anywhere in Uganda, provided they have access to the courts of law, hospitals, and prisons visits by relatives. The transport network in and around Kampala metropolitan area has improved, and customized security vehicles can easily be acquired to secure prisoners in transit to access justice and other services. Cheaper land, if available, can be identified. Modern infrastructure will then be constructed to accommodate most of the major activities currently being handled at Luzira. This would not only solve the congestion problem, but would also offer better human conditions, rehabilitation, and friendly facilities. If a more suitable and conducive, cost-effective alternative were to be acquired, Luzira Prison's land, which is very prime, would be released and secured for investment. Modern investment on the current prison land would lead to job creation for Ugandans, foreign exchange earnings, increased tax base, and would foster economic growth and development. This in line with the country's policy framework of a poverty reduction strategy that emphasizes investment promotion. Uganda Prison Service is likely to benefit from such development other than continuously holding on to this constrained space with all the attendant constraints mentioned. The current prison's infrastructure is highly dilapidated, and its continued use is insecure and a denial of the rights of prisoners to a decent living environment. Secondly, the design of the infrastructure can no longer handle the current type of prisoners that we hold. And thirdly, the design of infrastructure is not rehabilitation friendly and therefore can no longer support correction and modern penal policy. Therefore, it appeals to logic to plan for new infrastructure in a more suitable place and relieve Luzira for other viable economic investments. Even without the current proposal, just a moment, members, even without the current proposal by an investor to put up a hotel at Luzira in exchange for constructing a prison elsewhere, which sparked this debate, it would inevitably be necessary to plan for a suitable alternative to Luzira prisons. The question of what to do with Luzira land is a detail, provided due diligence is complied with. Towards this end, therefore, there are many options for consideration, including these ones below, and I would like to implore members to listen attentively. The options are the following. There are three mentioned here. One, no relocation. Renovate and expand the current Luzira facilities at a cost of approximately 400 billion to meet the requirements of a modern correctional institution and security needs of the changing profiles of offenders without relocation. B, relocate the prison at government cost, but retain the land and facilities at Luzira for the other prison non-custodial purposes. C, relocate Luzira group of prisons to another site to present an opportunity of acquiring better infrastructure that can enable the service to effectively carry out custody, rehabilitation, and reform of offenders. At the investors' own cost, estimated at 934 billion. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker and members, Luzira prison land is very prime, can be released and secured for investment, or for the other options indicated above. Modern investment on the current prison land would lead to job creation for Ugandan foreign exchange earnings, increase tax base, and would foster economic growth. Uganda's prison service will benefit from such development. Alternatively, retention and improvement of Luzira prisons in its current location or retention of the land for non-custodial purposes, accompanied with relocation of the prison at government cost, are also options, albeit with heavy cost implications. To improve the welfare of staff and prisons, a more spacious space be identified to construct modern prison infrastructure that supports security, safety, and rehabilitation of offenders and well-being of staff. In conclusion, Right Honourable Speaker and members, it is prudent for government to plan for the new and better infrastructure for the prison service in a more secure location and relieve Luzira land for either of the options mentioned above. Thank you for listening. That is the statement for
Thank you.
about the subject.
Allow members to speak. I just want to ask something. On the available option to improve prisons conditions, decision already been taken or you're seeking for because there are some scenarios.
All these are at inception. There is no decision which has been
There is
taken.
no
And I want
decision.
to allay the fears of members.
Okay. Okay.
I forgot one thing, Right Honourable Speaker and members. I think organize a non-custodial visit.
In there. But this is a very serious matter. This is a very serious matter. Can we briefly?
Thank the Minister for the report. Right Honourable Speaker, I am surprised that government is planning to expand prison facilities. I'm very surprised. That part of relocation is intended to create enough space for prisoners. At a time when a country is actually supposed to be planning for stability, law and order to minimize prisoners. On the contrary, we are planning for expansion. Right Honourable Speaker, the minister has said, we plan a visit. Minister, I have been to Luzira as a political prisoner. I was in Luzira. There is a reason why that place is located in that area. Those of you who have not been to prison, and I pray that you find time and be there, but for the good reasons, like I was there, you'll understand that, Right Honourable Speaker, even location of prison is psychological and it also impacts on prisoners. You know what happens in Nakasongola. You know what happens if you are taken in all these facilities that were not supposed or created to provide sufficient prison facilities. Actually, Right Honourable Speaker, those of us who have been to prison, we prefer being in Luzira than elsewhere, even geographically. But Right Honourable Speaker, of fundamental point is the company that is being reported to construct this facility. That company has been blacklisted by the World Bank. Is debt burdened. That company, RVR, is debt burdened, has been blacklisted. And it is the company being fronted to take over that piece of land. How do we, and it has been even a subject of investigation, even locally here. And it is a company being fronted. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable colleagues, we should not allow land grabbing disguised as an opportunity to expand Luzira. We should not allow that. We should not allow that. If you want to have more hotels, please, where you want to take this facility is where actually you should take the hotel, because that place also needs development. Take it there and you also have that place developed. Otherwise, what is happening here is land grabbing disguised in another manner. I thank you.
Thank you. Honourable, I want to guide the House. Let's discuss on the three available options. The three available options is no relocation. 2, relocate the prisons at a cost of government. 3, relocate Luzira group of prisons to another site. Unfortunately, at the cost of the investor. Unfortunately, the minister has not told us who the investor is. 2, much as my presumption is by the time somebody goes to prison, the person is not going for luxury. Where you're saying that the land is small, the land needs to be, we need to expand, we need that kind of thing. So it's not about luxury. It's about the land of Uganda, for the people of Uganda, which is in a very strategic location. And who is that investor is the question. A procedure.
Thank you, Right. Procedure right for me to give some additional information on this matter before the next colleague comes to debate, such that we inform.
You have information?
Yes.
Is it documented?
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker, and I'm going to give you a copy.
Honorable members, you know, one thing is, the information you're giving is a letter from the president. But I want to tell you people, a president does not write a letter from the blues. He is always advised. They go and tell him there is this part of land, there is this kind of thing, there is this. That is how he writes. Because he doesn't know these people. They go lying him.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I am not blaming them. The 10th of July, 2022, His Excellency the President did write to General Kahindo Tafire, the Minister of Internal Affairs, relocation of Luzira prisons and construction of Uganda International Conference Center and a commercial hub. This letter was received on the 18th of July, 2022. The above matter refers, I have received a letter from Chiang Tang Group that are proposing to redevelop the Luzira prison into a 5-star hotel with a conference center and relocate the prison at their cost to another place in interior on a land identified by the government. I totally support this idea. Therefore, you are directed to do the following. 1, start negotiations with the Chiang Tang Group about this program. 2, identify the land in the interior where we relocate the prison anywhere in Uganda. Signed, His Excellency the President Museveni, and copied to the Vice President, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Minister of Works and Transport, the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, the Attorney General Paul Zhang, the Chairman of Chiang Tang Group Limited. Madam Speaker, I am bringing this letter such that you get to know the company and the person behind it. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, on the 22nd of February 2024, the Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs did write to the Attorney General, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Parliament Avenue, Kampala, invitation to a consultative meeting on the proposed relocation of Luzira prisons. The Chiang Tang Group approached His Excellency the President of Uganda with a proposal to redevelop Luzira prison into the ultra-modern city suburb. Further, reference is made to the letter of the President, which I've just read. The Uganda Prisons Service have identified 3.5 square miles in Buikwe, out of which they have agreed to purchase 1 square mile for the said relocation. The family of the late Antonio Lutwama Kabegeta, who own the land, have unfortunately never applied for letters of administration since the late passed on in 1928. Note that, honorable members. Although they have agreed as a family and the beneficiaries to sell the said square mile to Uganda prisons, in light of the current legal impasse on processing letters of administration from the old Buganda estates, the family lawyers have formed an opinion that they, the beneficiaries, can still sell their interest in the said land to the Uganda Prisons Service for the prison's relocation. The letter, they are saying in this letter here that that legal opinion is addressed, which of course we shall ask the minister to produce. The purpose of his letter, therefore, is to invite you and the Administrator General to my office on the 6th of March 2024 at 2 p.m. at the Ministry of Internal Affairs boardroom for a joint meeting to review the said position of the family and whether your office has an objection or proposal to articulate the said presidential directive, signed General Kahino, Tafire copy to the Administrator General. Right Honorable Speaker, one, you have seen from this letter, Lucera prison is 260 acres. The letter requesting for land in Lucera is for 1-star hotel and a conference center. Does it need 260 acres? Why don't you give them 2-3 acres? If we are to give two. Sorry. These are questions I'm posing. Not that that's my proposal. I am posing those questions.
Honorable members, the member is saying 260 acres to build a hotel and put a conference center. That is what he's saying.
That's the question I'm posing. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Can we have the Attorney General's opinion, Honorable Minister? Honorable Minister, can we have the Attorney General's opinion on this matter? That's two. I know why the reason I'm saying so. Two, the Minister of Lands has objected to this because this land is contested because the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren, the great-great-grandchildren are complaining about this land. So
which one?
Of the late Antonio, who passed away in 1926.
But what was the criteria of getting that land? Why didn't they buy it from Ethel, from another person? So many people have land.
That's why I'm asking that we need that's why I'm saying, Madam Speaker, that we need the Minister of Lands on this matter, their position, because some of us, because we sit in the Committee of Lands, we raised this matter. They made comments on it to us in the committee. So we need that also to be clarified. Finally, as I conclude, Right Honorable Speaker, that we need that Attorney General's opinion on this matter. We had the opinion of Minister of Lands, but there is no way we are going to give out Lucera prison 260 acres for 1-star hotel. And then the issue which was raised by Honorable Asuman here, the gentleman here at this poll has had so many issues regarding land in Tororo, the issue of the phosphate industry here in Kampala, and others internationally. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we cannot afford to lose. If it was not for Mr. Sudir to save us with his money, it was gone, because the hotel, the group that they had given, these are the same reasons they gave to us in the 7th Parliament about Shimoni. And at the end of it, there was no hotel. They had to look for someone to sell, and that place had been sold at $2 million only. That's how he came in. If he had not to come, we would not have seen that
Thank
place.
you.
We have seen other places. So, Right Honorable Speakers, we are not in support of it. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Erica.
So that other criminals can go and stay there and then report to court. Right Honorable Speaker, budgets here, tourism is one of the main focus. And the tour patch offers the best option so far.
That the 5-star hotel must go to those areas.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. And create opportunities for our farmers, for our traders, for our young people who are graduating from all these government institutions to be
embassies outside. So it's high time government started working on our structures. Right Honorable Speaker, the minister talks about the Bishop Kangire Secondary School. I come from that side, Right Honorable Speaker, which was set up on 20 acres of land and lots of companies that are there. My question is, did they get this land for free or they bought? 260 acres of land is too huge, Right Honorable Speaker. An acre in Luzira could go for 1 billion shillings. If the worst comes the worst, Right Honorable Speaker, my proposal is they can sell off a few acres and reconstruct the prison in Luzira. Thank you.
Which I can even give for free. Where I can even give for free to the investor. Yes, where there is water, near the water, for prisons. I mean for them to put a what? A 5-star. Very prime. I mean tourism. We are Yes, Kinyamatama.
Thank you.
Amora.